Yo, do us a favor and yourself a favor by hitting that subscribe button. Make sure to tap that notification bell as well so you can stay updated. Now let's get to the video.
Yeah, man. But we here for another Saturday, man, at iLLANOiZE Radio. We got a special guest in the building. She go by Queen Mia.
Let's get it. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
Doing well. And you brought the Christmas to us early.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes,
I'm very appreciative of this. This is Therapy Essentials, all natural, cruelty and free baby powder, body butter, home handmade.
Yes.
Could you explain this product? Because I'm gonna definitely check it out.
So, my shea butter I created or I made. I'm a massage therapist. Been massaging for 12 years, and I had people requesting I was making it for my massages, and a lot of them really liked the smell, so they were like, you need to make this for us. And so that's how Therapy Essentials came about. I just started making it, and it's been doing well. People are purchasing it, and so it's one of the 3 businesses that I have that I do. And so yeah,
3 businesses, you know.
Big boss queen.
For sure.
All right, let's take it back a little bit. Where you from?
From Homewood.
Okay, born and raised.
I was actually born and raised in Hammond, Indiana.
Okay.
So yeah, I was born and raised there till I was 13, and then when I was 13, I moved to Homewood, and I've been there.
You went to
my whole life.
You went to HF?
Yeah.
How did you like your HF experience?
I loved it. I'm definitely happy that I moved at that time, because HF is just like an experience. It's an amazing school to go to, especially coming from Hammond.
Oh yeah.
So like I was not exposed to so much, but once I got to HF, I was like, I think that's what kind of helped me develop to be able to get in this business type lifestyle. Like I just feel like it motivated me. I saw so much more, and so yeah, the experience was great. I really enjoyed it.
So I grew up like 5 minutes away from Homewood and Chicago Heights, and it was like everything was just like more upbeat, you know what I'm saying, at Homewood, you know, especially high school. To me, it was like used to always say such great things out there in the campus, you know what I'm saying. The campus was huge compared to a lot of schools
was like
around.
A college. It was like the size of a college, so I feel like that's where I got my college experience, because I went to college for a short time after, but then I quickly realized like school is not my direction.
For sure.
But I was happy that I got that experience, because it was kind of like a college. It's really big, has 2 buildings. I got to experience so much. We did canoeing, bow and arrow, ice skating, bowling, you name it. Like the list goes on of the activities that the school offered us. So
Canoeing,
definitely was canoeing. Yes, and we have a lake, they have a lake, and so we used to get to canoe in the lake and learn how to canoe. So that was cool.
That's definitely a dope experience to have in high school.
Yeah.
Now you say transferring there, it was something that sparked, you want to go into business and be an entrepreneur. What would you say was a couple things that sparked that interest?
Well, I was realizing that school wasn't for me. After like really getting in class, like I was interested in science. I knew that was something that really I was interested in, and I originally went to school to be a vet tech, and then I just was like class and just being on a schedule of somebody else's, the same thing ever. I struggled in school. Like high school was not for me.
Right.
I struggled, but it was really because like the scheduling and stuff. So it's not that I wasn't smart. It was just that the way that school is designed, it's like to teach you to work for somebody.
Right,
and I knew that wasn't what I wanted, and I found out later, like after I left school, and I didn't want to be a vet tech. I went to a massage school, and once they were like, if you come here, you're gonna get a massage every day for the first quarter, and I was like, I know I don't want to do school, but I will definitely do this. And so I got into massage, and I actually really loved it, and that's what really sparked the entrepreneurship, because in massage, you can't really work for a company and make any money. Right. It's just never going to ever happen. It's not happening.
You got to run your own.
You have to run your own. And so I was working for Massage Envy for maybe 2 or 3 years before I realized, like, I could do this by myself. So that's what I did. I opened up a therapy clinic, the therapy clinics, which was downtown on 111 West Jackson Boulevard. And I was doing my thing. I was there for like 3 years. COVID had happened. And then...
Good old COVID.
Yes. And then I was just traveling to my clients that I already had. And then that's how I came into my car business. Because COVID happened and I was like, well, we need to figure something else out.
For real.
So that's how I kind of jumped from realizing like, okay, the school, this isn't for me. But I was like, knowing I was finding my channels just from going through different experiences. So it wasn't even like I knew what I wanted to do. It was just so happened. The therapy essentials so happened. The massage just happened. And then the cars happened. So.
And it's funny because before you even got to your massage therapy story, I was just thinking like, so you a hands-on learner.
Yeah.
Actually, you know what I'm saying? So you actually went into that field.
Exactly.
You know, and I feel like the pandemic, it did inspire a lot of people to do something they probably never thought of doing. Like, did you see yourself doing car rentals?
No, at all. Like, I actually, what led me to before that was I was doing Instacart. So when everything was shut down, nobody was getting massages. I was doing Instacart and I was actually making a lot of money, like $1,000 a week. Like, this was great. And at the time, I didn't have a vehicle and I was renting from somebody. And then he was on Turo, and I was like, he got some cars going on. He started off small, and he started growing. And that's what sparked my interest into doing Turo. And then a few months later, I did the same thing. Got me some cars, and I started off with 5. I was on Turo for 2 years, and then I went independent as of last year. So I've been doing it independently as a private rental company for about a year now.
Hey, that's major business right there.
All right, now. Offline, we was telling some of our entrepreneur horror stories, you know what I'm saying? Before we get into that, you said you had your own private rental company.
Yes.
Like, explain exactly what a private rental company is.
So let me correct myself. I'm a private car sharing company.
Okay.
It's a very distinct difference between a car rental and a car sharing. So I'm similar to Turo, which is basically, instead of there being a company that has a fleet of vehicles that are renting vehicles out to people, I'm a car sharing company, which I have other people's personal vehicles that they share with others. And so my business, I have 5 of my own vehicles, and then I co-host 10 other vehicles of other people's. So, yeah, that's the difference between the actual car rental and the car sharing aspect.
Okay, so it's like what's them little bitty cars, like Zip Car or something like that?
Zip Car, yeah, similar, but there still would be under the rental aspect because of the way the business is structured. That business owns all of those cars, and it's that's the business. But like with my business, Adani Enterprise, we don't own anything. We're just facilitating people into vehicles. So even my vehicles are owned by me, and the actual company in itself is just the broker in a sense, like helping us find drivers to rent our vehicles, essentially. So legally speaking, it's set up that way because it's a lot more lax than it is with car rentals. So
that's dope. I ain't gonna lie. As far as I'm just trying to see how one can even get into this, this type of field. Or like, what sparked the idea? I know the pandemic, but like, was it a conversation with a friend? Like, did you find a partner in a similar role?
No. So actually, when I said before, I was doing Instacart and renting, and I saw someone else doing it. That's what sparked it. But then also, when I had the opportunity to get finance for a vehicle, I just went and I financed 5 at the same time.
No, for sure.
So, I mean, anybody.
You went to the lot with finance 5 vehicles.
Mm-hmm. And so it's a little trick to that. So essentially, if you go finance a vehicle within 30 to 60 days, the finance companies will never know that the other cars are being financed because they haven't reflected on your credit report. So if you get approved for a $30,000 car, you probably could get it. I've seen somebody do 10 cars within 30 days. Go finance 10 vehicles. I think that's crazy. But yeah, you definitely, if you can get finance, whatever you can get finance for, it's another bank out there that'll do the same thing.
I ain't gonna lie. That's not common knowledge.
Oh,
These type of thing. That's why it's so, you know what I'm saying. And I financed just one vehicle in my life, but in one setting. But you say you finance five in one setting.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying. And what gets to the point when you are a private sharing company? Like what? Let me word that better. What brings in the most business? Is it people from out of town? Is it people just looking to get around?
The most business is in town people.
Okay.
People who need a car to get to work.
Mm-hmm.
Most of my clients are long term, which it's been good for me because I haven't reached the pinnacle of my business where I just have turnover guests. I want to get to that point. You actually make more money with turnover guests, but you also put yourself at more risk for accidents, and just there is a big variable inside of renting to multiple people versus keeping somebody in the same car.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, I've had most of my long-term renters, I've had 4 of them. I've been doing this for a year. So 4 long-term renters out of my 5 vehicles. And one person, they're in it now, and they're at like $11,000. They've had the car since May. So it's like that's consistent money that you can depend on versus, you know, if you're flipping people in and out, they damage the car, you got to calculate how long it's going to take to get that car fixed and back running. You losing money too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that the best structured way is the long term. So right now, I probably do about $20,000 per vehicle a year.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And I think that's a good number, but it could definitely be higher. Like, I think it could be in the 30s and the 40s if I was doing, like, people who's vacationing. Because what I charge for a week, I can make in a weekend. Because people fly in town, they pay $300-$400 for a weekend. You know, and most of my long-termers, they pay about $470 a week.
Okay.
That's
dope.
So, yeah, it has its different avenues. You just have to kind of really be structured and know where you're going with it. You can't just jump into rentals and be like, I'm going to do this. And, you know, you really have to have a goal and see where you're going with it. So
For real.
Right now, since I'm at 15, that's a very small fleet. Like, I'm trying to get to like 300. Then we're talking like, but 15 is like so small. I can find 15 people to put in these cars, and they'll be gone and never come back. So it's like 15 is not a lot, but like 300, then we're talking about, you know, it'll be a lot more in and out, people coming that's traveling and stuff like that. But right now, since I only have so few cars, I try to stick people in them and try to keep them in there.
For sure.
I used to work at Enterprise. I was I want to say I was a car porter. You feel me? I clean it up, you know what I'm saying, get it ready. I was the guy that'll come pick you up. You feel me? So it was like I learned a lot about the car rental business. You feel me? Because I was hands on with the manager. You feel me? And he'll be like, bro, I need you to come with me. So every time he said he need me to come with me, I know we had to go steal one of the cars back.
Oh,
you know what I mean? We had to go get one of the cars back. So how, like, does that scare you? You know what I'm saying? Somebody running off with one of your vehicles?
A little. So it's scary, but also I just had this happen to me, and it could have ended up really bad, but it turned out really good. Well, I won't say it turned out good. It was still bad, but I got my car back. Last week, actually, I had a guest who I rented to. When she originally rented for 2 days, everything was good, and then when it was time for her to extend, the first day she extended after the 2, it was good. On time, everything. It was the next day after that when she was like, I want to extend. Can you send me the link to extend? And I had sent it, and then she never extended it. And so, like, the next morning, I'm looking like, okay, now you're a day behind, and it's due again today. So she woke up, I guess, she woke up like, I'm so sorry. I'm paying you now. But this was at 11 o'clock. Your renewal's at 6.
Right.
So at that point, I was like, okay, just make sure you're paying on time. She didn't pay at 6 again. So the next day, when that day came, I was like, the car has to come back in for service because it needs to be serviced. And she was like upset, like, I wish I would have known this. She's texting this because I wouldn't have chose this car. I have to get to work, saying all of this. And so I wrote back and I was like, well, that's not the issue, is that the car has maintenance. I have another car I could put you in, but
Right.
you're not paying on time, so I cannot do that. She never texted me back after that. She blocked me.
Oh,
That particular car actually was being serviced, and it didn't have the tracker on it, because when you take it to like Hyundai and stuff, you're not supposed to have third party stuff on the vehicle, because it was
void
against,
of warranty
yeah,
or
exactly, void my warranty. So I'm like really freaking out at this point, and I was kind of trying to tell her like, hey, we're gonna come pick up the vehicle, saying stuff like that, and so she's just completely ignoring me. I actually did try to attempt to go to the addresses that was on file for her address and her insurance, and the vehicle wasn't there. So now it's like 2 days past. I looked her information up online on People Search, and so I was able to find like her relatives. Because I'm like, at this point, I'm either going to have to call the police, which I just didn't want to do. Like, I didn't even want to get to that point. And so I called her. Let's just call him Uncle Johnny.
Okay.
I call him, and he's like, oh, my God, let me get in contact with her family. You know, he's calling her dad. He puts me on three-way with her. He like, she did what? Oh, yeah, call the police right now. Call it. Like, they already knew, like, this is, like, she does stuff. So it was like, they was just like, don't even waste time. Call the police. So that's what I did. I called the police. The police came out, and they were like, you know the person who stole the car? And I was like, yes. And so he was like, before we get started, let me just attempt to reach out to her. Because at this point, she had blocked her family. She blocked me.
Oh, my God.
I had found her on Facebook, too. I had wrote under her post. She's posting inspirational posts. Like,
that's not
it's
you.
going to be a better day. All of these things. So I write her. And, you know, I'm like, you need to bring me my car back. And so she responds via text message, as I'm still blocked, like, threatening me, saying, like, you know, this is your last warning. I'm not driving that car. It's parked in Cal City. That's how you can get killed, threatening me with the police. Because at this point, I'm like, I'm going to have to call the police.
Right.
And so then I'm like, oh, my God, this girl is crazy. So the police come, and he tries to call her, went to voicemail. He left a voicemail like, this is Homewood Police. You know, give us a call back, because at this point, we about to enter the car stolen. You can possibly get arrested and get charged. So, you know, give us a call back if you want to resolve this issue. So maybe like 20 minutes go past. The police officer is filling out the police report, and I'm getting ready to leave. And then he's like, hold on. I think she's calling into the police station right now. So he gets her on the phone, and she's like going back and forth. Like, she said she was going to pick the car up, and she, you know, he's like, listen, we just want to know where the car is at.
Right, that's it.
So she ends up giving the address to the car, and we was able to retrieve it. But that was just like the craziest experience, feeling like I didn't know where my car was, because even if I got the police involved, if you don't have a tracker, it's just as good as, like, it could take a long time to find a car, like 30 plus days. Even if at that point we didn't find it, then the insurance is another 30 days. So it's not like, it was never that simple. So it's definitely, that's probably the scariest thing, is just not being able to locate a vehicle because of the lost time and money that goes into trying to find it. And, you know, you still got to pay on the car. So that was a terrible experience that will never happen again, because now we have kill switches on everything. So
with that,
man, shutting shit down.
With all that being said and done, is it worth it?
It's worth it. It's not for everybody, but it's worth it. I think you need a definite certain type of personality. You need to not be attached. And sometimes I get really attached, like even with that girl, like I have people who are working for me, and they was like, Mia, you need to chill. This is a business. You know, I'm ready to put my hands on her. Like, bring me, you know, I'm writing under her Facebook page, like, this is getting very unprofessional now. Like, but I so emotionally tied to it, because it's not like Enterprise. They can't really oversee all their cars. The people that's overseeing them are the workers, and they only so much attached to them. Like, this is work.
Yeah.
This is my life.
Exactly.
Like, I have to, you know, make sure things go smoothly. So that's definitely been like a crazy struggle between balancing that and like having someone else be able to step in and say, all right, you know, we need to do by the book. This is how it goes. If somebody steals a car, these are the steps that you take. You send out emails, you send out a notice, then you call the police. Like, they're step-by-step processes. So it's definitely worth it to me, because I get to spend more time with my kids, and I'm building something for them. So essentially the car business is for them. So I'm hoping to get it to a point where when they're older, they'll be able to take over and we'll have multiple locations.
And you still in them phases where it's like shit. It's still off the muscle. You know what I'm saying? Nobody know what it took for you to even finance, like you say, finance 5 cars in one set, and that ain't no little feat. You did your homework, and you doing your thing to get to that point. So somebody will just run off and play crazy with your property. You still in that era where like shit. I could have not, you know what I'm saying? I could have not been doing this shit,
Exactly.
but you actually put in the effort for it. So like you still effort driven behind your stuff. You know what I'm saying? Maybe somewhere down the line, I know any loss will still bother you, but somewhere down the line it'll probably open up a little more as far as like you can do stuff like file an insurance claim, or if you gotta call the police, that's what it is.
Exactly.
But like you saying, that was like one of your first experience with it, so. When you call the police at the same time, you still feel like you got to put hands on them.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So.
The police, like, I ain't trying to call the police.
Exactly.
Like, I just don't want to.
That's the final resort.
Exactly. So I'm
shit.
like,
Exactly.
this is too much. So I definitely, yeah.
But she, let me ask, was she skin folk?
Yeah. For sure. And I was
own.
actually trying to look out for her when she came in. She was telling me how it hurts. Couldn't, rent to her because she had to make her payment on 2 separate cars. And I'm like, I could do that. First mistake. I'm like, she got a kid. She's not going to do this or that. I come to find out the police actually said that her sister had just rented not too long ago from Enterprise. And she was almost arrested she was about to enter. The car was already reported as stolen. He was like, so she wasn't actually arrested, but this is what they do.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like
running off with shit.
Exactly. Or not paying.
Yeah.
It always be the ones you try to look out for.
You do, and that's what I realized. The more I charge, the less problems I have with the people that was willing to pay more. If they complaining about the prices, it's almost like this is the beginning of your headache.
Facts.
So,
all right, let me ask you this question: if you can go back and give your younger self any advice, what would it be?
It would be like, I would definitely tell myself that everything is gonna work out. Everything's gonna work out. Don't worry. Like, I think I was just years before in such a confused place. Like, I didn't know where my life was going. And even a little bit now, like, everything's kind of going, but I be nervous. But God is so intentional. If I could go back and tell myself that, don't worry, because God is intentional. All of the bad stuff that happened is so full circle that it was just kind of like, it was necessary for me to become the person that I am. So it's no way to oversee those negative things that I went through. It made me who I am. So, I would just tell myself, like, don't give up, and it's going to get easier.
All right, I got one more question for you before we get out of here.
Okay.
What advice you have for any entrepreneur that's stuck on a ledge right now? They know they want to do something, but they scared to do it.
Don't be afraid, because it's gonna be scary the whole ride. When you get into business, it's gonna be ups and downs, especially downs. Okay, and when it's down, it's down.
Facts.
I've been not working for anybody since 2016, and when I tell you, between 2018 up until 2020, I wanted to get a job really bad. Like, it's the security of a job. It's just something else. But don't give up, because at the end of the day, you have to, if that's what you want to do, you're going to have to go through stuff. You're going to struggle. It's going to be hard. There's no way around it. I talk to people every day who think like there is no reward that you will get from getting something and not having to work for it. Like, even clients who, if you work out to get the body that you want, that takes time, hard work, dedication. Even if you get surgery, you are not escaping that pain. You're going to feel it. So it's like, don't try to avoid going through something to get to where you want to go. Those are the things that's going to actually build character and carry you through, make you stronger, make you wiser. So if you are trying to get into a business, don't hesitate, don't stop, go hard, don't give up. Have a purpose. So don't just get into business because you hear somebody's doing cars. It sounds like a great thing. Have purpose. Let God drive you to where you're supposed to go, and everything will work out.
All right, before we get out of here, tell the people how they could find the body butter, how they could rent some cars from you, how they can get in tune with everything you got going on.
So you can actually go to my Instagram page. I have all my links there. My Instagram is Queen Mia, and that's queen.m.i.a. And then there, my link tree, which is Linktree Queen Mia. And you can find all my links for car rental. You can find my therapy essentials link. And then also there's other information to reach out to me if you are interested in massage as well.
All right, Jimmy, talk to the people.
Yes, sir. Shout out, I guess, Queen Mia for coming through. So many hustles and so little time. You know what I'm saying? You get into it. You know, so it's always good to hear about people's endeavors. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, you're doing something that's not so common with the car runners. You know, low key, I've been thinking for the past couple days. It's you know, it be people rich off of things you would never think of. You know what I'm saying? And one of my earliest inspirations for that and to even think about stuff business oriented. I had a roommate like my sophomore year of college. His name was Alex. Alex was from like the middle of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? Like he was from the farm, barnland. He was cool though, and I was 19, so he had to be like 18 or something like that. I think he took advanced classes to come up, yada yada yada. So Alex was selling, you know, barn hay. He was selling the wires and like the ropes or whatever to wrap it up. Wow. You know what I'm saying? To wrap it into barrels or however it was presented. And he was making 6 figures off of that. And that shit used to blow my mind every day. And I'm like, we live 2 completely different lives, but I asked him so many questions about that in the month that he was my roommate. He was only there for like Monday through Wednesday, Thursday and Friday. But it used to always fascinate me how Alex used to treat grown ass men. Like he used to, like, I'm talking people in their 30s. He was the boss of all of them over this little piece of hay. You know what I'm saying? Over this little piece of haywire, bro. You know what I'm saying? He used to treat the shit out of them. I hate to say it, but you know he had to handle his business. Yeah. But it was just so fascinating how people can find these certain niches and just thrive off of. You know, he taught me a lot of things, and one of the main things he always taught me is you got. He said one time, it stuck with me. He say you got the United States of America and you got America. It's 2 separate worlds. You know what I'm saying? He said you are in America, but don't forget this is the United States of America. I asked hella questions since while I'm a journalist, and I asked him about differences of shit, and he told me that. But like I say, you are doing like non-common shit, you know. So don't forget, like, shit, handle your business in so many words. You know what I'm saying? And that's what he told me, and I love hearing people do certain things that's like not so common.
Exactly,
you know?
And that's what you have to get in something that's not so common, so it's not oversaturated.
Oh yeah, for sure that.
Like,
for sure.
Everybody thinks it's a trend to get onto, when it's like, just because you saw somebody else now, somebody else could try to do the same thing as him, but it's not their, you know, it's not for them.
Exactly.
They don't have the avenue, resources, or know who to go or talk to make 6 figures. So it's just really, like I said again, purpose.
Exactly.
Like God, he was aligned with his purpose, and God was like, I'm going to get this so that you can make this money. And so. And
then you say you want over 300 cars. Imagine what 300 cars can bring you. They can bring you more employment opportunities. They can bring you. Sure. You can hire porters. You can hire people, transporters. All this. So I
got porters.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I got porters. I got staff.
And all that. You know what I'm saying? All that can just expand, like a Carvana or something. You know what I'm saying?
It's definitely.
So keep doing your thing, man. For real. I love to hear it.
Thank you. I appreciate
No problem.
it.
And everybody out there listening, follow Ill Sound Radio, ILLSOUND Radio. Follow me, Groove Nuke, GROOV. And don't go nowhere. Don't touch that dial, because we got another special guest coming up right with you. And Jay, what you got to say to him?
Salute to you.
Let's get it.
All your endeavors. Because I know how hard this shit is out here. You feel me? Every day is a different struggle. And a lot of people say they want to be a boss until it's time to be a fucking boss.
Hello?
You feel me? Never run away from it. You feel me? I know exactly what you mean. I haven't worked a job since 2019. Maybe 2018. I don't remember. You feel me? 2018, 2019. But I also fought with the going back to work. Like, man, shit, man, this shit getting tough. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how next month finna go. You know what I'm saying? But as long as you stay down, stay focused, you know what I'm saying? Shit always work itself out. You know what I'm saying?
You following your purpose.
Man, and just like you say, God, every time it ever came down to that point, some present itself. Every time. Every time.
I tell you, every time.
Should be on time too.
He do.
Keep working, keep grinding, don't stop. You feel me? I hope you get to your 300 cars. I hope you get past 300 cars. You know what I'm saying? And I'm definitely gonna take the body butter home. You know what I'm saying? I know my son, he already loves shea butter, so I'm gonna put him in tune with it too. And once again, thank you for the gifts. Thank you for just coming through, chopping it up with us.
No problem. Thank you for having me.
No